Today, it is estimated that 12% of Americans have type 2 diabetes. In contrast, it is estimated that 1 in 3 Americans, or even more, are insulin resistant. Now, unmanaged insulin resistance will inevitably lead to diabetes type 2. Insulin resistance is the leading cause for many other chronic and debilitating conditions. For decades now, the standard way to test for diabetes has been by checking someone's blood sugar, whether it's a random blood sugar, a fasting blood sugar, or by checking what we call the hemoglobin A1C, which would predict the blood sugar over the last 3 months. Now, this model of predicting or diagnosing metabolic dysfunction or metabolic illness has its roles, but it is considered to be reactive rather than proactive. Elevated blood sugar is the end point of decades of long-standing metabolic dysfunction rather than a primary cause of it. Now, in conventional medicine, if someone's blood sugar and hemoglobin A1C is below a certain cut point, they're told often that, hey, you're fine, your blood sugar is fine, you don't have diabetes, we'll see you next year. And this overlooks major warning signs of metabolic dysfunction. This system has failed us and continues to fail us. The real focus should not be the blood sugar. The real focus should be on insulin. So what is insulin resistance? Insulin resistance indicates the cell's reduced ability to respond to insulin. That insulin is the hormone responsible for numerous functions, mainly the cell's ability to utilize and uptake blood sugar from the bloodstream. Through complex pathways, insulin resistance will lead to a vicious cycle of high insulin, fat deposition in organs like the liver and the pancreas, and eventually increase in the levels of inflammation. Years later, this will lead to elevated blood sugars and the development of diabetes type 2 as we know it. Insulin resistance is the core reason for a large number of chronic illnesses. This includes heart disease, dementia, strokes, hypertension, erectile dysfunction, infertility, you name it. Addressing it early on results in significant positive health impacts. Now, how do you detect and diagnose insulin resistance? Insulin resistance can be diagnosed through numerous and powerful, yet simple markers, but it is rarely checked for nowadays by doctors. First of all, fasting insulin. A fasting insulin level should not exceed 10. A high insulin level on fasted state is a strong indicator of insulin resistance, obviously in the appropriate clinical setting. Now, insulin resistance will lead to enhanced liver production of triglycerides, and this will lead to an increase in the triglyceride to HDL ratio, and this is a powerful and robust indicator of insulin resistance. Another one we look at is sex hormone binding globulin. High insulin levels will hinder the liver's ability to produce this protein or globulin, sex hormone binding globulin, SHBG. This is commonly checked whenever your doctor checks for testosterone, and the lower the number, the higher the indication that the person may have insulin resistance. Another simple measure is visceral fat. We can measure it simply or estimate it simply by a waist circumference, but we can use complex or modern technology like a DEXA scan or specialty scales like N-body scans or N-body scales. And the higher the visceral fat, the higher the waist circumference, the higher the likelihood of insulin resistance. And the higher the insulin levels, the more insulin resistant the person is, the more likely they're going to build more and more visceral fat. Now, how to treat and battle insulin resistance? Optimizing nutrition is key. Diet adjustments, sufficient protein and fat intake, and minimizing carbohydrates are very important in battling insulin resistance. And another important point when it comes to diet is the ultra-processed food. As we have talked in previous videos, it's not just the macros, it is the quality of the food. Next is prioritizing resistance training. Building and maintaining muscle mass enhances the glucose uptake and improves mitochondrial efficiency, leading to improved insulin sensitivity. Number 3, zone 2 training, which is low to moderate intensity exercise that someone can sustain for a long period of time. And examples of these are brisk walks, walking with a weighted vest, or an incline walk, jogging, maybe a low intensity bike ride. These kind of exercises were shown to reduce blood sugar, improve insulin sensitivity over time without even the fat loss. Next is sleep. Protecting sleep and prioritizing sleep is always important. Now, a single night of poor sleep can result in a degree of insulin resistance the next morning. Imagine sustained long-term poor sleep habits, poor sleep hygiene, and sleep apnea, for example. that would lead to significant degree of insulin resistance, weight gain, visceral fat gain, and a ton of inflammation. We cannot overlook stress. So stress is another factor that should be handled and managed, whether by improving the sleep, meditation, certain adaptogenic supplements like ashwagandha, all of that, and managing the stress would help insulin resistance and prevent it over long term. Now, my passion, hormonal optimization. Bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, particularly testosterone and estrogen in postmenopausal women, has shown to improve and optimize insulin sensitivity, and this always should be considered and looked at when we're evaluating for insulin resistance. And finally is leveraging modern therapy. One is GLP-1 agonists like semaglutide or tirzepatide. These can enhance insulin sensitivity at the root, resulting in significant health impacts. We've talked before about GLP-1s and the numerous health improvement and health impacts they have, but when it comes to insulin sensitivity, they are robust and they are powerful, and they should always be looked at obviously under strict supervision. Detecting and addressing insulin resistance early on is the most powerful strategy to improve quality of life and prevent chronic diseases. Implementing simple yet effective methods can significantly reduce its prevalence and promote an overall healthier population. If you like this video, like it, share it, and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.